Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC News Break. NIS Director Ian Carrington is assuring Barbadians that the reserves of the Social Security Scheme can last for another 30 to 40 years. This as he disclosed that the NIS is under no financial threat and has a reserve ratio of 7 years. He made the remarks in an exclusive interview with CBC while noting that the delay in payment of benefits and checks relates to the failure of production servers and the backup power supply.
I think Barbadians can go to our website and take a look at our latest actual review, which is the 14th actual review. And that actual review essentially indicates that at our current level of reserves, we will be in a situation where the fund will be depleted somewhere between 2045 and 2056. As at August, the end of August 2014, the National Insurance Fund, which is only one of 6 funds that the National Insurance Board manage, has a reserve in it of $4.2 billion.
Mr. Carrington says they are sympathetic to the needs of pensioners and will be doing all in their power to ensure the pension and other benefit checks due by October 6th are delivered by the end of next week.
My mother and father is a pensioner. Most of the staff who work at NIS got some relative who are pensioners. So we feel this in a very personal manner like all Barbadians. We have always been very empathetic and very concerned that our pensions are paid and delivered on time. Traditionally, we deliver them at least a week early. In this situation, we are going to be a few days late. What I'm asking Barbadians to do is essentially be patient and let us solve the problem.
Top officials in the Ministry of Education will meet with parents and guardians of students of the Grisette's Primary School today. The meeting is to update them on plans for the St. Michael institution currently closed due to an environmental problem. Chief Education Officer Laurie King and his deputy Karen Best will address the meeting starting at 5 this evening at Ellerslie Secondary School. Now, yesterday it was announced that the nearly 300 students and staff of the Grisette's Primary are being temporarily relocated. The move is expected to take effect next Monday, and further cleaning of the school will be undertaken during the relocation period. Education Month got underway yesterday with a robust message from a 13-year-old student who told his fellow students that they have to chart a new course in their lives and, by extension, the country. Joel Franklin from the Seventh-day Adventist Secondary School delivered the sermon at Messiah House Wesleyan Holiness Church in Messiah Street, St. John, before a packed audience, which included pupils from schools across the island, teachers and officials from the Ministry of Education. He said that he and his counterparts have been labeled as visionless and rudderless in a society some say has declining moral standards. Drawing from this month's theme, charting a new course to new horizons in education, Franklin stressed that to know where we have come from, we need to know to whom we belong.
What is your excuse for bad behavior? What is our excuse for the mediocrity to which we so often settle? Others have succeeded despite their home environment, school environment, and bad influences. Too often, we hear that a young person has turned to a life of deviance and crime and has blamed home, family, school, friends, and everybody else. But my Bible tells me that if Joseph can make it, if David can make it, so can I, and so can you, because God wants to partner with us.
Meanwhile, Chief Education Officer Laurie King has told teachers to rededicate themselves to the profession, upholding the traits of knowledge, dedication, commitment, and enthusiasm for which it is known. He told the students to strive to do well and help to contribute to the country's development.
The large sums of money which are expended on education will go to naught if the teacher-student interaction is not effective. I salute those teachers who continue to preserve with patience, pedagogical skill, and empathy in motivating all students in the pursuit of excellence. Students, you are our future. We cannot achieve our national objectives if each of you do not strive for excellence and do so by sharing and spreading love for self and for those with whom you come into contact.
The Postal Service still has a significant role to play in Barbados. This from Deputy Postmaster General Margaret Ashby, who says the BPS services are still in demand, despite most paper mail being replaced by electronic mail and other methods of communication. She says while there's been a noticeable fall-off in household mail, business mail has increased.
All official documents still has to be delivered, and they have to be the original copy. Now, in relation to technology, it has also helped the post, because today persons go online and they use, because of e-commerce, what we've seen is that although we may have a reduction in the number of items, letter mail, we have an increase in the number of parcels coming in from places like China, Japan, because before persons had to go through an agent in order to purchase things, but now in this global market, everybody can purchase whatever it is that they need.
Ms. Ashby was one of the guests on CBC TV's program, CBC Presents, which focused on the Barbados Postal Service. She says a major problem which postal workers face is people changing address without notifying the post office. According to her, the post office will not accept word-of-mouth notifications. The University of the West Indies Cape Hill campus now has a commemorative stamp issued in celebration of its 50th anniversary. The stamp set was presented by Postmaster General Joel Brathwaite. It includes iconic images and symbols of the campus like the clock towers, students receiving scrolls, and the golden stool. Principal and Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles said he is humbled by the gesture from the Postal Service, and he gave some special instructions to those who will be using the stamps.
Each time you use one of these stamps, I wish you to realize that you are celebrating two great institutions that have advanced the interests of this country, our distinguished Postal Service and the University of the West Indies.
A new element is being added to this year's Food and Wine and Rum Festival, being held between November 20th and 23rd. Director of Premier Event Services, Faye Wharton-Paris, says food trails will join the usual events on the popular international chefs. Food trails will see the festival taken to some of the most popular liming spots on the island.
So visitors as well as locals, and they go on the website and they'll be directed to the places like Village Bar at Lemon Arbor, Tavern on the Bay, South Factory, Mr. Delicious Snack Bar at Enterprise Beach, Bush Bar, just to name a few. And as persons go to these watering holes, these entities will put on their own kind of specials during the period, and they're free to come up with special lunches, special drinks. They're going to have a lot of the collateral material for the festival, and so that when you go to those places, you know that they're in fact a part of the festival.
Ms. Wharton-Paris was speaking during a briefing on the festival at the Barbados Hilton last evening. Founder and executive chef at Caribbean Villa Chefs, Dane Sadler, says he's benefited significantly since getting involved in the festival 3 years ago. His business offers private chefs to homes and villas in Barbados and across the region. And we'll have regional and international news just after this break.